Okay, now that we have, you've worked on investigation 1.2, A, B, and C. D is bonus. But we're going to look at the answers for A, B, and C. So A says, look at your predictions. What did you think which one did you think was the most orangey? The answer to that is A. Mix A is the most orangey. So it is mix A. And I know that because 2/5 is greater than 5/14 or 1 out of 3 or 3 out of 8. So the answer is A. But you didn't necessarily, don't worry if you didn't have the right answer. I just want you to understand how I got that. So I had 2 out of 5. Okay. I had 5 out of 14. I had 1 out of 3. And I had 3 out of 8. And if I divide them and turn them into a decimal percent, if you divide them in your calculator, you'll see that 2/5 is a greater amount than any of the others. So 2/5 would be the greatest. So mix A is the greatest. Don't worry about that. We're gonna keep working on this so we get these skills down. Okay, in B, Doug is correct because they specifically asked for a fraction, and 5 to 9 is not part to whole, it's part to part. 5 to 14 is the fraction because 14 is the total amount. In B2, you cannot use the difference to find whether a mix has a greater proportion of concentrate. That just does not work. For instance, if I said that 1 out of 6,000 people believed something, okay, or had ate hot dogs. Their favorite food was hot dogs. 1 out of 6,000 people. That is not going to be the same amount if I say, even though it's 5,000 more, if I say 50,000 people out of 55,000 people eat hot dogs. Okay, the difference is not indicative or does not tell what the proportionality is. So we never can use difference when we talk about proportionality. So that was the reason why that question was in there. Okay, C is I think the most complicated, has the most layers. Before you can start anything with C, you need to figure out how many cups you need. So what is the total cups you need? So if I have a half a cup for 240 campers, I know that everyone is not getting a full cup. So whatever it is, it's going to be less than 240 because a whole cup for 240 campers would be 240 cups. So I know that's not going to be it. It's going to be half. It's going to be half the amount of campers, right? Because every 2 campers gets 1 cup. So if I divide 240 by 2, I can figure out that my answer there is I need 120 cups of any mix I make. I need to make sure that I have 120 cups. So now I can actually answer the questions to C1 and 2. So 1 says, so how many batches would I need? So often before, in previous years, I have students who don't really know what a batch is. So if I look at a recipe, like say for cookies, I love cookies. So if I look at a recipe for cookies, I'm making 1 batch if I follow the recipe just the way it is. So 1 batch of mix A is going to make 5 cups of orange drink. Okay, so that's a batch, that 5 cups. 2 cups of concentrate, 3 cups of water. I follow the recipe, and the total in the batch would be 5 cups. So I'm looking for batches. So I'm going to divide 120 by each of those numbers. So if I divide 120 by 5, I'm going to get 24 batches. So I'm going to have 24 batches. And I would go through and then, I would divide everything. And I've already told you that, we are going to be able to use our calculators. Excuse me. So using my calculator, I'm going to go through and I'm going to divide 120. I'm going to divide it by 14. And I'm going to get 8.57. Well, I'm not going to make part of a batch, right? So I would need to round that up. If every camper is going to get a half a cup, I'm going to need to make 9 batches. Okay, and the next one I'm going to say if I have 120 cups, and I need 3 in mix C, so each batch is 3 cups, I'm taking 120 and I'm dividing it by 3, and now I know that I'm going to get 40 batches. The last one is I need 120 cups, and one match of mix D makes 8 cups. Okay, so I have 120 divided by 8, and I'm going to get 15 batches. So now I know how many of each of these recipes I would need to take. Okay, in part 2 of that question, it says, so if you're going to make that many batches, how much concentrate and water would you need to get together? Okay, so if if I'm doing mix A and I have 24 batches, I'm going to have 24 2 cups of concentrate. So that means I need 48 cups of concentrate. Okay, if I need 9 batches in mix B, I'm going to multiply 9 times 5, and I'm going to get 45 cups of concentrate. In mix C, I'm making 40 batches, but I only need 1 cup of concentrate for each batch, right? So that is going to be 40 cups. And in the last one, mix D, I'm making that recipe 15 times. So I have to put in 3 cups of concentrate 15 times, which means I'm going to need 45 cups of concentrate. And so now I'm going to look at the water. Okay, so I'm looking at the water, and in that first mix A, notice, okay, I need 3 cups of water. I have to make it 24 times. So that is going to be 72 cups of water. In mix B, I have 9 cups of water. I have to make that 9 times because I need 9 batches. So 9 times I'm going to put into the jug or whatever, 9 cups, 9 times, which means I'm going to have 81 cups of water. So you can picture yourself kind of making this. You're in the kitchen, okay? In mix C, I have 2 cups of water for every batch, and I have 40 batches, which means I'm going to need 80 cups of water. And in mix D, I'm going to have 5 cups of water, and I'm going to make that 15 times. Okay, so that's going to be 15 times 5 is going to be 75 cups of water. And if you'll notice, I know I can go back and check and say, okay, am I getting my 120 cups? So this added together is 120 cups. This added together is 120 cups. This added together is 120 cups. This isn't. This is greater than 120 cups, and that's because we had to round up the decimal we got to 9 because we wanted to make sure we were making full batches. And so those are the answers for A, B, and C. If you have questions, make sure you get to me, and we're going to, and I'll be able to explain it a little more. You may have to watch some of these videos twice. Maybe you need to watch it once and then go back and look at your answers and check again to self-check to figure out if you're sure you know what you're doing. Okay, good job.